midweek check-in on my first week of budgeting. Let's get started. So I have been following a lot of budgeting YouTube channels on at the moment, and they all seem to be doing like a midweek check-in. So I said, seeing as my first week, we will attempt it and see how we're going. If you have watched the actual budget setup, you would realise that I was over budget by €188, pretty much. So let's see how we're going so far and if we could have cut back. So I have some of the totals already pre-written out, just so I wouldn't be getting confused. So to recap, I had a buffer in my account starting at the beginning of the week of €1,040, and I was expected my income of €527.30, which went in. So my total balance in my account then was €1,567.30. So this week I was expecting my main expenses and bills to be my €60 loan repayment direct debit that went out. I had €215.27 going to a high yield savings account for my two eldest girls' third level education. I am expecting my Netflix to go out in 2 days' time, so at the moment that hasn't cleared the account. I was planning on putting an extra €40 towards my loan, and I was planning to put €20 towards my emergency fund, and I have done that. So my €60 loan payment went out, the $215 went to the savings account, I put an extra €40 to the loan, and I put €20 towards my savings account, and altogether these expenses for the week were adding up to €355.26. Now my variable expenses, I was budgeting €50 to go towards my electricity. I have a pay-as-you-go meter, and I always find €50 is a happy amount for my family of four. It builds up over the summer months and then alleviates some of the pressure then during the winter months when my electricity usage is quite high. I was expecting to put €30 diesel into my car. It currently does have a quarter of a tank, so I'm not too sure if I will even be topping it up by the €30 this week. I was expecting to have €60 for my weekly therapy appointment, and I had budgeted €50 miscellaneous as my eldest preteen girl informed me that she needed underwear and clothing. And then I always budget €160 to €170 a week on food for my family of four, myself and my three children. So as you can see in my actual column, I checked my balance for my electricity and it currently is €134. So I was able to pull back €20 from that, and again that will come off my over spending on the budget, so I was happy with that. Now I did have to take €120 cash out of my account. This was to cover my therapy. I also took out extra. I said it could go towards diesel if and when needed, and it could go towards any miscellaneous shopping or visits that I have to make during the week with my kids when they're back to school. So I have spent €50 of that for my therapy. My therapist didn't actually have any change, so it was €50, and I will owe her an extra €10 next week. I have to say Sandra is fantastic. She doesn't really mind. I go regularly enough, so she's happy with that. I had budgeted €50, as I said, from my daughters. It came to €42, so I was able to save €8 there. So out of my €170 food budget, I have spent €16.90 so far, and that was on a Friday. Getting my kids treats for school and getting a top up of bread and milk that was needed. Now I have placed an order for my delivery, which is expected in the morning. I have put everything into the basket, which is roughly €110. Sometimes they have to do substitutions or they mightn't have stock. So I don't actually write down my total for that until it is actually taken from my account and I have the food here so that I know what the actual balance is of that. So as of today, I have saved €20. I have saved €10 to €30, and I've saved €8, which is, apologies for that, €38 in total. Maintenance from the kid's dad did come through, which is grateful. But again, as I've said in previous videos, I'd like to carry that on to the next week because it is not guaranteed every week. So that is how my budget stands at the moment. So instead of being let's actually total it up and see what our totals are. Apologies, we'll grab the calculator up. So as we stand, I have spent round up for figures is the easiest way I've gone. So I had budgeted 360 for all of these expenses, and at the moment I have spent to this day €139. Now, as you can see down here, I have written a very unexpected expense that did have to come from my emergency fund. My laptop gave up the ghost the other day, so I had to do an emergency laptop purchase. It came to €842.95 in my local electronics store, so I had to transfer €845 from my emergency account. It was an unexpected purchase, wasn't in the budget, but I am forever grateful that I do have an emergency fund, and it just goes to prove why emergency funds are so important. So as you can see down here, I have taken my €845 from my emergency fund, so I am back to a balance of €5,255 in my emergency fund, which I am trying to build up, but I am forever grateful that I have it and that it's there, and it just goes to prove why we need it, because I would have had to stick it on a card or get a loan to cover the amount of that if I had not the money in my emergency fund. So that is my mid-week check-in on my budget. Thank you very much for watching this short this short video, and if you would like to follow along on my journey for financial freedom, please hit the subscribe button and hit the like button if you enjoyed today's video, and thanks very much for viewing, and I hope you all have a nice day wherever you are. Bye now.